Hello. Can anyone around here speak basketball?
There it is.
It's the Confederacy of Dunks Basketball Podcast.
Kyle Lowry. Welcome to the Confederacy of Dunks Basketball Podcast. I am your host, and who, sir, are you?
I am the producer, Matt Duncan, director of the People's Court. Thank you very much. Welcome to season 8.
Friends, that is some very, very funny foreshadowing. People's Court direction does come up on this ep. Maddie, you got the new mic in tow. You're looking good. You're feeling good.
Yeah.
You excited for this season to start or what?
Holy cow! I'm in a fantasy draft. I'm so excited. It starts tonight. The NBA. Can't wait to use the league pass again. Get that going. Watch some basketball. Very excited about that. Excited about the Raps. I feel like I love it when they're the underdog, because that just pisses everyone off even more when they do well. Just love it. Oh, yeah. And yeah, man, I can't believe it. It's been such a weird year. We're starting our season 8 in just before Christmas on the, this will air on the 23rd of December. Super weird. What a great way to start off the holidays, right, man?
If you asked me when we started doing this podcast in 2020, December 23rd, would the Raptors start their season in Tampa Bay? I'd say hell yes. It's been a wild time. We're playing in Tampa, right?
We're playing in Tampa, and we're at. Sorry, go ahead.
You go ahead.
Well, I'm just so damn excited that it makes me feel a little old. I've talked about this podcast a lot, being a time capsule for the Raptors. As we now enter season 8, you can go to dunkspodcast.com for all our links to our podcatchers for the Sonar Network if you want to click on there and listen to all those great podcasts as well as our own, or you can just listen to the episode right there on our page. We've got a fun megaphone player for you. It's pretty cool jazz if you ask me. And but yeah, we've got all our categories from all our seasons. You can click on them, see what we were talking about in like season 1, season 2, season 3, all the way up to season 8 now. It's just insane. Freddie, I'm excited.
I'm excited. I'm excited that you're excited. It's good. If people want to go deep, they want to super support us. How can they do that? Can they be a Patreon?
Oh, yes. You can be a patron of the Patreon universe for us. You can go to patreon.com/dunkspodcast, or of course we have a link on all our website and whatnot. We've got different tiers. If you just can only chip in a couple bucks, that's no problem. But if you chip a little more, you're going to get early episode access. You're going to get additional content. We just recently did one that was a lot of fun. We're going to keep adding to that. And, Freddie's got some new hot sauce out. I don't know if he's got enough to add to the Patreon.
There's enough. By the way, it's called Splash of OG, and there's enough to go around. Okay.
Oh, damn. So yeah, there's a tier for that.
Get your hands on some of that good stuff. We went through a lot of potential names. Who knows? Maybe if you become we'll make some new level of Patreon if you want to name the sauce for next year. But it's pretty complicated because it
feels citrusy to me when I hear Splash of OG. I'm like, oh, it's probably got like a hot and just a hint of citrus or something in it. Am I right there?
You got some carrot. You got some cumin.
Oh, damn.
You got some Thai chili, garlic. Okay.
Oh, man.
You know what? I'm not going to. There's other ingredients, too, so I got to keep some stuff. But, hey, Matt, it's windy. It's cold.
Yeah.
I only went on a couple short walks, and I was freezing, but my head was warm and it wasn't itchy. Tell the folks why.
Yeah, I was tobogganing the other day, and, I wasn't wearing a toque or anything, and my ears turned blue. And a gentleman walked by wearing a Confederacy of Dunks toque, and he said, "You know what? You ought to get one of these. They're anti-itch, and you'll never scratch your head once. If you do 7 scratches, we will refund.
Okay, I was gonna ask
that's
who
what
this
he
man
said.
was,
Yeah.
but now I want to know the 7 scratch thing. But I think maybe I don't want to know either. I want
Yeah.
the mystery to just
Yeah.
be.
I mean, it's a, we can't really nail down how the scratches factor into the refund. So
Thank you.
don't take it. I don't know what that guy was talking about. There's nowhere that says you'll get that refund. But you know what? I can guarantee they ain't going to itch. They're comfortable. We're on Shopify. You can buy them there. We are running out. We do need to reorder. So get them in. Get them in. And Freddie will mail one to you. Snail mail if you want. Or I think we even have some options where you can, FedEx or whatever,
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
little Tom Hanks Castaway
yeah.
style, he
rent a drone or whatever. No worries.
Yeah, man.
Well, yeah, I think that takes us almost to the beginning of the pod. And before we bring on the guests, let me just say, email your city councilors, Black Lives Matter, and defund the police. We mean it, folks. Okay. Let's get cracking here, Matt. If you feel like we're ready to go, please, sir, just give me those beautiful words I need. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's bring on guest number 1 here. I think it's his second time doing the pod. I'm gonna have him on a bunch more. He should be doing the pod all the time. He's a basketball head just like me. I'm in his fantasy podcast, in his fantasy Yahoo league. And I was just telling him, I'm really happy. He's the only league I'm in where there's only one center position. Just a quick fantasy gripe to get things going. No, he's a wicked stand-up. He's hilarious. Just straight up basketball psycho. Give it up as loud as you can, even if you're at home alone, for Josh Elijah.
Woo! Let's go. What's up, Freddie?
Woo!
Woo! Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. How you doing? Your existential dread? I think Grizzlies sweater.
That's some Grizzlies. Yeah. The Grizzlies print. I got my. I'm showcasing a titty mug that I got from my girlfriend. Yeah.
That's very beautiful. Very beautiful.
Molded out of my tits, basically, but to scale, I guess.
Wow. Oh my God, they're very small and beautiful, and look like a nice vessel for coffee, and beer or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man, super excited for our fantasy. I'm sure a lot of listeners don't really care about what we're doing with our own time, but your team, we're facing each other the first week this week, and I think we match up great.
Yeah, I got a fun, like, injury likely riddled team, but I got the Currys, Holiday, Kyrie. Should be fun.
You got the Currys. You got
not
both
a lot
of
of
them.
centers.
No centers. If you want some, I got some. So just holler.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll let you beat the crap out of me week 1, and then I'll demand you. I'll start sending trade requests.
Absolutely.
I'm also in a fantasy league with guest number 2. I've been on his podcast before. He's hilarious. He's a hardcore Mavericks fan, which is a very specific thing, but hey, that's his deal. Okay. He loves the Mavericks, and you gotta give it up for that. I don't think he got Luka in the league we're in. He's probably pissed about that. But give it up as loud as you can from Press Basketball. Even if you're at home alone, Ryan Henry.
Hello. He got the intro music. I love it. You guys remember that?
I have to say, could you not hear Josh's music when I was off the stream?
I couldn't hear Josh's music, but knowing you, I assumed it was there. So
I gotta figure it out because I don't think you can hear it. So I was just me grooving to it. But Josh, just to give you a taste of your old.
Ooh, that is spicy. Look at that. I love it. I'm breaking a sweat over here.
I mean, you guys got both of there's a lot of janky stings that I have for people, but you guys got strong ones, so you deserve to hear them.
Thank you.
Matt wants you to know when you have a specifically janky sting that, you know what, can you quickly play Ryan's again? Because I want to see if it adds up too.
Oh,
Oh, okay. He's busting.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is like arriving at a terminal. Where's my flight?
That's straight off of a 2K playlist.
And I am
definitely
very
like a
upset.
warm up before the game, right?
Yeah. One of those.
Sorry, go ahead, Ryan.
Luka. I am very upset I didn't get Luka. I had to settle for LeBron James and Kevin Durant back to back.
Don't
I
you
mean,
hate it
it's-
when you have to settle for LeBron
Yeah.
James and Kevin Durant?
Hate it.
And what a weird world that probably means you were drafting like late, so you got them. I'm assuming if you got LeBron and Durant, it was probably like you're drafting 10th or 11th or something.
I never thought I'd be in a world where as the last pick, you get double picks. I was 10th, and I had Kawhi, LeBron, and KD on the board. And I was literally seconds away from taking Kawhi, but something just told me I got to go with KD because I am literally scared to death of him. I have nightmares of him having the ball in the fourth quarter against the Raptors in the finals every night. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be scared of him this year. I want him to destroy people. So I took KD.
All right. Well,
That's a good call. I probably would have done the same.
Yeah, I think I got KD in one of my 6 leagues. I'm a maniac. But you know what? We've done a lot of fantasy talk already. So let's get right to Raptors stuff because there's a bunch going on as usual. The season's kicking off tonight. When you're listening to this, the Raptors will be playing their first game. So get Jack for that. But Maddie, if you got a Raptors sting for me, and I know you do, please, good sir, just give it to me.
Raptors
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Matt made sure that one popped. It was like there's going to be no sound issues here. When I do my weird Raptor echo in a hallway thing, people are going to hear it.
It's great.
Matt
Love it.
is,
Love the energy.
Matt's the best. Yeah, he's the best. Thank you, Matt. Let's get right to. I'm going to go to you first, Josh. OG. So OG extension, 72 for 4 years. That's 18 a year. I'm sure there's a bunch of different, incentives, caveats, etc. We can break that down, but it all kind of happened quick, right? So Giannis signs. People are like, oh, okay, Raptors plan B. Gobert signs. PG signed a little bit before that. All of a sudden, summer of 2021 is like not exactly what it was. And I think Masai and Bobby probably were planning on extending OG anyways, but it definitely does kind of give Raptors fans like a fuller feeling of what we're going into the season with. So, we'll get to the core and stuff later, but just let's focus on OG first. Do you think what do you think of the contract?
Yeah, unreal. That's what a steal, really. It was a great deal, great for both. I think 18 a year is fantastic. Just even comparing it to some of the other contracts that were out there. Like for example, we gave 4 years 85 to Fred, and putting him at around 21 million a year. So to have OG at 18, I think that's great. Obviously, we do have expectations for him this year, for him to have that bigger breakout year, just to show some of the strides that he made last year that really got Raptors fans excited. So we're looking for more of that. But 18 a year, that's insane. That's great. Especially looking at some of the other contracts that were out there as well. Like if you look at some of the other free agents that just signed, you're looking at like Luke Kennard.
I knew you were
Jeremy-
going to say Luke Kennard. Sorry.
Like what?
I was going to
What the hell? 4 years, like 64. So he's getting 16 a year, and then OG gets 2 more million a year. That's insane. That's great. Even Jeremy Grant, great player, but 3 years, 80 million. He's making 26 a year. Like that's steep.
big money.
That's big money. Kyle Kuzma obviously getting a smaller contract, but yeah, OG is easily the best player out of all those players that I just mentioned, and so to give him 18, I think that's great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you like 1,000%. Like, I do kind of feel like it's insanely good, and it's just always tough to wrap your head around how amazing Masai and Bobby are. It's like it seems like they're always getting deals, and I don't know, Ryan, I'll go to you. I don't know if it's like same question. Do you think like what do you think about this contract? But also, do you think the number, like with Josh talking about the market value and OG fitting in there, is this just offense, defense? Is this just defense being underpaid? Or, you know what I mean? Because like I would imagine he just signed with Clutch, OG. So for me, this is it's a steal. It's 18 a year. You look at Jeremy Grant, like Josh said, and Luke Kennard, and it's wild.
And Clutch is LeBron's guy, right? Clutch is LeBron's team, right?
Yeah.
Oh, can you guys not hear? Oh, yeah. And that guy is notorious for getting players deals. So that's just shout out to it's Rich Paul, right? That guy is just killing with the contracts. Everybody who signs up a Clutch is getting paid. When I at 4 years, 72 mil, I was just like, okay, let's see what Masai was thinking here. I went right to his stats, right to the 3 years he's been in the league. There's improvement every year, 2 or 3 more points a year. Last year being his best. Rebounds are up, field goal percentage is up, 3 points are up, attempts are up, everything is up. So his trajectory is going up. You have to pay him. Like, hey, like we're going to give you some money. I feel 72 is a fair amount for him. It's a bargain for us at 18 mil, just like Joshua was saying. Like, I think it was a perfect deal, just like the Fred deal. Like that one, yeah, some people said could go up more, could go down more, but I feel for OG that was just right, like perfect value, and I think he is going to be our third guy this year. You'll have Fred, you'll have Pascal, and I think with obviously not getting a major star, I think OG is the guy to really come up and take that third spot.
I mean, he definitely has that like defensive importance on the club. Like, I feel like, you still got Kyle, Pascal, and Fred. I can't see OG passing them on offense. But he is primed to take a big leap. He's going to get way more opportunities. And obviously he's just irreplaceable on D. Yeah, just kind of following up on this OG thing. Like, offensively, it was 10.5 points a game. Ryan, like, what do you think's like a real legitimate expectation fans could have for a jump up? Is it like 15 points, or is it something wild? Like, he's not gonna go from 10 to 18 or something like that's just.
I have him 15. I have him going to 15. And I actually have him up for MIP. I'm banking on OG. I think he's aware with Serge leaving, Gasol leaving, just obviously, picking up some decent talent to fill those holes, but we're going to need somebody to step up. And I am thinking he's going to be up for MIP at the end of the year. And I have him banking around 15 points, 5 or 6 rebounds, a few more assists. I think he's just going to be a big part of this rotation going forward.
I agree. I do. Let's Ryan, I'm going to stick with you. Let's just kind of move on to the core. It's fairly locked up. So we got Fred, Norm, Pascal, OG. Obviously, like, Kyle is the greatest Raptor ever and a part of this team, but there's some type of pass the torch moment period we've all, I think, been waiting for, expecting. I don't even know necessarily if it's this season, but I do think Kyle's kind of on his own Raptors trajectory. Like, he's just, his age is different. His contract is going to be different. What do you think about this core? Do you think like, can you get behind it? Are you like, do you like it because of the personality? Do you think it's a winner?
I am honestly. I know this past week was interesting for Raptor fans with obviously Giannis coming back to Milwaukee. I wasn't panicked. I wasn't upset. Like, yeah, we don't get him. Okay. Rudy's off the board. Okay. I still think we have a solid team. I still think we're, top 5 in the East. I still think we're a playoff team. Do I feel we're a contender right now with, KD coming back to Brooklyn and the East just getting a little bit better? I wouldn't say we're going to be winning a championship this upcoming season, but I feel this is a good core. We're going to see improvement for all those guys you just mentioned. And then the second thing is believe in Masai. Like, if he's still, our guy in a couple of years and he's still running the team, right? Look, we turned nothing into something. Did anyone expect us to get Kawhi 2 years ago? No, that wasn't thought of. That wasn't on the table. Although the free agency pool next year is looking slim, I have complete confidence in this guy to make nothing into something, and he will find us a deal, whether that's James Harden, whether it's, another disgruntled superstar. This league appears to have disgruntled superstars fairly often that just, look for new scenery. So I don't think it's the end of the world. And I think a lot of people still like our mold, our culture, our core, and somebody will want to play here, and Masai will make that happen.
Totally agree. Josh, where are you at with the core in general? Do you think this is like on its own? Yeah. Like, are you with Ryan? Like, kind of like, you're not so sure if this is a contender, but this is a winner that can attract, like it's the right thing.
We're not a contender, and I just saying that off the top, like, don't get me wrong, I love this core. I mean, we're talking, you get to Fred, Norm, OG, Pascal, and then obviously Kyle Lowry doing his own thing. I do agree, like, he's on his own timeline, and he is a free agent, I think, next year, is he not? So yep. we'll take. I'm sure we'll take care of that. But we are a player away. We do need someone. It's shown in the past that you need some sort of elite talent in order to bring us there. And to be honest, I'm not sure if that is going to be Pascal Siakam. I mean, like, he's great. Don't get me wrong, love him, but I don't know if he's going to be able to take that next step. I don't know. Maybe is it just me, or does it seem like he doesn't even seem interested to play basketball anymore sometimes?
Well, it's funny you say that, because I think his role has really kind of, changed. Like, I think it's one thing to say, like, hey, I'm up for the challenge. Mm-hmm. I work hard. I'm going to continue to work hard. That's part of who I am. Yeah. And, I think that brought Pascal to somewhere, in the 10 to 20 best players in the league range, which was like amazing. But I think also for fans, and I mean, I'm fully guilty of Pascal hype. And, I think it seemed like it's like, oh, okay, cool. If he's in that range, then, maybe he's heading to the top 5, top 8 superstar, otherworldly place. And I think where what I'm with you the most on is that, like, well, I'm with you in general, but like the idea that we need a player is exactly right, but who and how and when, I think, is kind of how this has to be massaged. And back to Ryan's trust Masai, he can do that. But yeah, is it like we need to run this core to develop, to give Pascal and OG and Fred another go around in the playoffs? Like, even with the idea that it's like we're still gonna like find that disgruntled James Harden or whomever, but like we have to wait for that to happen. We can't just grab that guy, like Bradley Beal's not on the table until Bradley Beal's on the table. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think, and I don't even know if he is that top 5, top 8 total game changer guy either. But yeah, sorry, Josh, I feel like you want to say something.
No. I mean, I agree. He's Pascal's top 20. I wouldn't say he's top 10.
Exactly. Yeah, me too.
If we could get him to top 10 this year, if that's what he can prove, then that's fantastic. We might be able to build something off of that. Obviously, with the departure of Serge Ibaka and Marcus Gasol, like there's now room to grow for players like OG Anunoby. But then again, like I don't know. I've kind of worked back from we're not making the finals. Can we make the conference finals? That seems tough as well. Are we going to make it out of the second round? What happens if we face a very similar Boston team again, missing some of those core players that we had last year? Do we have what it takes to beat the 76ers in the playoffs? Do we have what it takes to beat the Heat? I think we do, potentially, but then again, Masai, we know that he wants to win. He wants to compete. He wants a team out there that's going to compete for a championship. And I think we're kind of kidding ourselves if we think that the Raptors are going to be able to make it to the finals at all. Like the conference finals, potentially. But I think that Masai knows that there needs to be some sort of move that needs to be done. Whether that's this year or not, that remains unseen. I'm not sure. He might. I definitely think he would give Pascal and Fred a full year now and see how they improve. And then if not, I mean, it's shown in the past, like with DeMar DeRozan and Dwayne Casey, and how they kept hitting that wall again in the playoffs.
Yep.
And then he had to mix things up. So it could be another year until something like that happens. But for the time being, I do like our core, but we're not set up for a championship. And we're not quite contenders. So I guess I agree with Ryan.
Yeah, no, I think that's it's a bit of cold water, I think, for Raptors fans who, you know, if you're trying to sell yourself on like the path to the championship, the more honest you are with yourself, the harder it gets for this particular squad. And I think, you know, focusing on Masai and our core, you know, I mentioned those kind of like the guys who are getting paid, but something to be said about, you know, Boucher and Malachi Flynn and you know, Matt Thomas, and kind of just like this like development system we have. Like I think that's going to keep producing. And I think it's almost like we have to turn that over and have enough sellable talent to continue to upgrade if there is a chance of that disgruntled player.
So do we trade for Harden then? If that's something like, obviously we're in the mix. That's been proven.
We should talk about it. Yeah. So, okay. I can't believe I'm saying this. I say yes. And this, I feel like is a wild take for me, because I've so enjoyed the continuity. I think that there is a whole litany of potential issues, but going through the Kawhi experience, knowing the system we have, knowing that Chris Finch basically helped develop Harden's system in Houston and now is on our bench, knowing that Nurse is a huge part of Houston, knowing that Harden hasn't won a championship and would be excited to play in the East. And I think we get Harden and we're going to the finals. Or I honestly do. I think we'd have to really lose a lot in the trade to not go to the finals, in my opinion. But
absolutely.
I mean, I'm also one of those people that I don't really feel like Harden's failures are all that fair. And I look at him testing Golden State like no one could with Chris Paul and with that Houston squad, you know, before we eventually beat them. But obviously it wasn't the same full powered G State. Ryan, I feel like we've been going for a bit here. So just come in here with the, like, what you feel about the Harden trade, what you feel, or, you know, speculation, and just the Raptors kind of like where we're at in general, looking for a piece.
So first reaction, like first emotional response to the Harden rumors. No, doesn't fit us. Can't.
Yeah.
The mold is just not there. It just won't work. And then I'm like, I just go back to I don't know if it's an old adage now, but a superstar is a superstar. And it's like, you have to go for the superstars in this league. Like, just look what happens when you go for the superstar. We get Kawhi. He turns it into a championship within a year. I know it's obviously not the same because they already had LeBron, but Lakers, you get Anthony Davis, turns into a championship. The Golden State Warriors, you get KD turns it into a championship. Anytime a superstar of that magnitude is changed, the balance of power goes with it. And I think you kind of hinted on it a little bit. Depending on how much we lose in that trade, we go to the finals. We win with Harden. Like we win. And another factors into it is right now he's already made money. He just declined 50 mil a year. What human being declines 50 mil a year unless you want to win? Like he's ready to win, or else I'm sorry, that's poor man's logic. But I'm not declining 50 mil a year. I'm taking that. I'm losing. I don't care. Give me my 50 mil. But he's ready to win. He wants to win. He knows his legacy is at stake. He knows that it's on the line. And I think he wouldn't mind Toronto because he sees that mold. He sees that culture. The thing with Harden is, can he adapt? Can he go into a team and say, you know what? I'm going to put the ego away. I'm going to, give you a couple of shots. We know he can pass the ball. At one point, I'm pretty sure he was a top guy in assists. Like it's not.
Yeah, I think he's led the league in assists like twice.
Exactly. I'm not fearful of that. It's just I don't care about the partying. Like if you're gonna party, go party. But if you're gonna give me a 50-point triple-double the next day, I'll take it. I don't care. He's done that. I can live with that. It's just, is he willing to adapt to our culture and mold? Because we're not going to just change for you. I'm sorry.
Well, I think, something like you touched on with the examples you brought up with, whether it's KD going to G State or Kawhi to us or AD to the Lakers, all those franchises, it's not like they were saved. It's basically like they were all really in good shape to absorb that superstar. And I think that's a big part of this. And that's why I would look at, like, say, Harden coming to us as like much more of a winning scenario than what could happen in Brooklyn. It's like, oh, that's exciting. These two guys are coming together. But, like, what is Brooklyn? Do they know how to win? Or what? Like, are they going to fight halfway through the season? What's going on? Like, is this a team that wins all the time and then is getting a superstar who also wants to win? Like that equation with Golden State was just absolutely unfair, right? You had this just insanely good player who was desperate to win and going to the best team in the league. It was crazy.
Absolutely.
But I want to get to just like league talk, and I made a bunch of predictions and I want your guys' reactions on them. Josh, is there any more kind of like core stuff you want to throw in here?
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, yeah, I'm just excited that basketball's back. I definitely think that the core, yeah, let's just be honest with ourselves. We're happy. We're just happy. This is an exciting year. There's like, man, no major injuries as of right now. Players are healthy for the most part, minus Klay Thompson. Like, this is just an exciting year. It's a shortened season. We get to see a brand new Nets team. I'm just excited for the Raptors, excited for the league. And I really just want to see what happens with Harden, because I've liked him I enjoy watching him. He's got arguably the best handles in the NBA as well. Aside from maybe like Kyrie, but he wants out
positive Harden podcast in like 2 years anywhere.
I mean, look at my beard. I love the guy. But yeah, no, he just wants out of the West, and I think the Raptors should make a trade for him if we don't lose too much, because I don't want to see him on Boston. I don't want to see him on Philly or Miami or any of these other teams. So yeah, let's go for
that's the best logic there, actually.
Honestly, yeah, he shows up on any of those teams.
It's a wrap for us.
Yeah, it's over. And he doesn't even have to play in Toronto. I don't want to hear Americans not wanting to play in Toronto because he's in Tampa. So so he doesn't even have to leave the Southern States. I don't know. I think we should make a move for him if there is the potential to get a top 5 player, and you can't argue that he isn't a top 5 player in the league. So, but yeah, let's
here.
Yeah, I'll take a sip to that.
Yeah, take a sip to that. Maddie, I know you're listening in somewhere. I can't see you, but I know you're there. That's my relationship with Matt.
I figured it out. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh my God. Okay, he's actually in my house and he's breaking COVID protocol. This is messed up, everybody. Let's do some NBA talk. Maddie, if you got that beautiful NBA sting, maybe it's a foghorn, I don't know what it is. Please, good sir, Give it to me.
National Basketball Association.
I tried to avoid the water pouring sound, but I'm just digging in.
Yeah. Oh, now we got to start over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you'll get
Start
all over.
the whole pod.
Too much trickle in that.
Yep. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm just gonna go for it and tell you guys who I think how I think the regular season is gonna finish in the West and in the East. I'm gonna start from the bottom, make my way to the top. Feel free to stop me whenever, and we'll kind of break and then we'll carry on. We'll see how it goes.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's just say this. Who do you, should I do East or West first? Any preferences?
I'm a
go.
West guy.
Yeah, let's go West.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm curious. Yeah.
Here we go. So I think 15th in the West is going to be the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's my bottom of the West. Ryan, you're grimacing a bit, but it's not like a total. You're kind of like,
At first, I completely forgot that all of their major pieces got traded away. And then I'm like, yeah, you know what? He's probably right.
yeah, okay. And I feel like they're also going to gut as they go along. Like they're in that situation. The Chris Paul's not there though, but even if they start to do good, they're going to be like, "Oh, take him."
Yeah.
They're not going to hold on to Horford or anything like that.
Shai is going to have a great year, but on a losing squad.
Yeah, exactly. Like I figure it will be hard for him to kind of produce winning. This next one surprised me a bit, but this is how I'm feeling. Number 14 in the 14th in the West, the San Antonio Spurs.
I will object.
Yikes.
You object?
Yes.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I don't think DeMar is going to finish this season as a Spur. I have a feeling that he's going to be traded, but I still think DeMar has enough juice to, get inching towards the playoffs, maybe in the play-in tournament. LaMarcus Aldridge, still there. A couple of young guys, DeJounte Murray, White. They got some pieces to avoid being possibly like the second last team in the league. I'm more looking at Sacramento being that piece, that team.
I bet you expect me to, stand strong on my convictions. But guess what? I agree with you. I'm looking at my list and I'm like, I don't think the Spurs are going to be that bad. There's actually maybe 2 or 3 teams I think they might be a bit better than. But I'll keep moving on so you can see like the ballpark. 13th, Sacramento Kings. 12th, Minnesota Timberwolves. 11th, New Orleans Pelicans. How's that feeling?
Shit.
I heard someone say shit. Maybe it was Matt. I don't know.
I threw up your bottom
the East.
5 in the East.
It looks pretty good to me. I don't know why he said shit, but maybe they just like saying shit.
Yeah, well, they got to go into your bottom.
I think the Pelicans are definitely the best out of all of those teams. Soda's right in there with them. No, I'm your list could honestly that could probably be it. I'm on board with it.
All right.
I'd probably switch out the Spurs and the Kings, but that's pretty solid.
Okay. Josh, anything yet? Trust me, I'm gonna hit a point where you guys freak out because there's in the East especially. I'm glad we're starting with the West, but in the West too, I think there's gonna be a moment or two where you guys are like, "What the hell are you?"
I mean, the T-Wolves are probably my 14th team, and then we can go. Right. We can go Kings, Spurs. I think, they still have a chance to be, in the hunt, even to get into that play-in tournament. Pelicans, I mean, look, we know Harden's not staying on Houston. I mean, we don't know, but pretty good chance that he's going to go somewhere. Mm-hmm. And I would put the Rockets at the 11th and put the Pelicans in that play-in tournament.
I think that's pretty fair. Yeah, I like okay, so I'll do 5 at a time. I feel like that's a good
Yeah.
feel.
Sure.
So number 10, Memphis Grizzlies. Number 9, Houston Rockets. Number 8, Phoenix Suns. Number 7, Dallas Mavericks. Number 6, Portland Trailblazers. I just know, Ryan, I'm sorry. Like I was like, when I started this, I thought the Mavs were in the top 4. But then when I started going through, I was like, I actually don't see it. And my Rockets thing, I kind of just threw them in 9th because I was like, I don't know when the trade's coming. I don't know if maybe they'll get a bunch of stuff back for Harden and be kind of good for a little bit. Like I don't know.
He's got to go though. I just read that article where he chucked a ball at one of his teammates during practice. So
yeah, he's trying to do his Jimmy thing where he's like causing a ruckus to go. But it's funny because the Rockets management is like, this isn't really like him. So it's kind of like even more of like put on. It's like more uncomfortable. Okay, yeah. Ryan, I got to let you speak on Dallas.
Abusive partner just looking for a way out, and they just don't want to let him go. So naturally as a Mavs fan, I did have them in the top 5 at least. The only thing is,
so this isn't totally disrespectful.
No. I get the logic behind it because at the end of the day, once Portland's healthy, they're good again. Portland's back up in the West, so I don't hate it, but I do still feel that they will be top 5 once Kristaps comes back. That team should be lethal again, and I think they have enough juice to get at least up to the 4 or 5. Luka on his own, apparently this is his MVP year for most people, so I think we're going to see a lot of great things from him. Josh Richardson, I love Seth Curry, but I think Richardson's getting a lot of hate just because of what he did in Philly wasn't enough. But the spacing was the issue in Philly. Dallas, you're going to have a lot of spacing. You're going to have a lot of opportunities to shoot the ball, and I think he is primed for that. So I think Dallas is definitely going to shoot 4 or 5. I like Portland where they are. Phoenix, I like them. Memphis, I was hoping to see them in the playoffs. I really was, but that's one thing that's like, but I don't know why everyone's down in the Rockets. I think the Kentucky connection is going to be fun to watch, and as long as these guys can stay healthy, I feel like they could sneak in there too. Why do I want to rearrange things now? But
I know this is good. If you want to rearrange things,
that's why the West is hard. It's hard because no one was expecting Memphis to do what they did last year. No one was expecting Phoenix to do what they did in the bubble. Now you add Chris Paul, so now it just flips everything. But it's hard. It's hard, but definitely down to be up. Yeah.
I'll give you the top 5, and then that'll add the whole picture of the West here.
Yeah.
And I feel like the biggest shocker is gonna come at number 1. Okay, so number 5, Utah Jazz. Number 4, Golden State Warriors. Number 3, Los Angeles Lakers. Number 2, Los Angeles Clippers. Number 1, Denver Nuggets. So that's my wild take, and I've talked myself into Jokic winning the MVP. I think that the narrative is going to be great for him. And my Denver logic, just to let you know, is that they're so deep, and it's going to be such a wild injury season, and they're just going to care more about the regular season than the Clippers or the Lakers by far. Like, you're not going to see any load management. Everyone's going to be playing. Everyone's going to be trying to win. The loss of Jeremy Grant's not that big. Sorry, I'm preemptively defending my Nuggets take because I thought that was the shocker. So whoever wants to, let me know your opinions, please.
Well, I think you're wrong.
Cheers.
No, the Lakers are going to repeat, I think, this year.
By the way, this is my regular season take.
Yeah. So, but I still think that, man, the Lakers got so good in the offseason, I think. Like, just the addition of Schroeder and having Harrell and even a veteran Gasol. Like,
and Matthews, too.
And Matthews. And let's not forget, they got first last year without really trying, and at times they looked weird. They just looked like a weird,
That's a good point.
a weird like raggedy team with like a bunch of odd ends, and we weren't sure if it was going to work, but it did, and then they got better. So, and that was without even trying. So I had them at my number one. I do like your Nuggets though. I like them high. I could see that being a conference finals again. The Nuggets are my number two, Clippers 3. I had the Jazz at 4. I feel like
Oh
Donovan
wow,
Mitchell.
okay, you're like me. You also had the Jazz high.
Yeah, I feel like the Jazz are at my 4. Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, surprisingly, they want to stick together and they want to win a championship. They think they can bring it to Utah. That's remained to be seen, but I definitely think I think they're going to definitely make some steps forward this season. I had the Mavs at 5. Ryan, there you go. I think Luka's going to have their his MVP type season, make a run for that. The league loves him. I definitely think when Kristaps is also back as well. Things are going to be looking good. They can maybe make an acquisition throughout the year. My Warriors are at 6 as well. So a couple changes, but
a couple changes. But my main Lakers thing is just I just have this feeling that LeBron's going to play opening day, he's going to play Christmas, and then he's going to be like, I'll see y'all in 2 months. And I don't know that for sure, but I just get some of those vibes where he's like, I want the 6 ring so bad that, and I'm not afraid of who I play in the playoffs. So I'm just managing. But like you said, they did kind of like the Warriors as they existed previously, before the Raptors beat them and broke the wheel. There's just nothing like that. So like the Lakers didn't even have to be that good to win the regular season. Like no one needed to be that good.
Yeah.
Because there isn't a team that's that good. But yeah, I think like the loss of Howard and McGee, even though it's kind of like not that big of a deal, like as far as like optics, I feel like those two really did give like this kind of like athletic center blocking, lob dunk, vertical threat aspect to the Lakers that, I mean, cheers to Marc Gasol, but like he does not have that. And like he has other stuff, but and Harold too, I think gives them much more of like an offensive dimension.
Absolutely.
But I'm just worried Davis is he's gonna have to bang a bit more than he likes.
Because you ideally want to see him at the power forward.
Exactly, right? Like because I think that worked so well for them last year. But Ryan, I feel like I want to let you react to this too. This top 5, but in general, I guess.
Naturally, like most, I guess I had Lakers 1, Clippers 2. This is where it gets a little bit different. Nuggets 3, and then my Mavs I had at 4. The Warriors are going to be great. It's just I think Klay Thompson's responsible for a lot of that. So I had them like 7 or 8. I think that's where things got like really.
That's the big, yeah.
That's the big. So I dropped them once the Klay injury came out. Jazz, I would say, either 4 or 5, and Dallas. That's where I'm putting Dallas in. I had Dallas at 4, Jazz at 5, and then 6 through 9 for me was like could be a crapshoot. You have the Blazers at 6. I do like that, but this is where I was like looking at the Rockets, and I'm like, I think I'm the only Rockets fan because I like John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins, and I feel if they stay healthy, you're going to get at least a little bit of what they were before these injuries, and they have enough juice to make at least the 8th seed. So that's where I was. I'm kicking out somebody. I actually had the Suns high. I think I had the Suns like 6 or 7, which is high for me. That's high because obviously we know the Suns' history, but yeah.
Yeah, when they first got Chris Paul, I was like, oh man, Suns 4th in the West. And then I started thinking about the other teams more. And I was like, they're not better than the Clippers, Nuggets, Lakers, like for sure. Like, and not really like there's just, Bridges is all right. Booker's Aiton. They got some stuff, but not that much. And I think that could totally happen with the Kentucky connection, and Walls look pretty good so far.
He's there.
Also, Houston seems like they got a steal on
Christian Wood.
who's the guy everyone wanted from Detroit?
Christian Wood.
Christian Wood. Yeah, sorry. He's looking good too. So I think it's going to be an even
Harden.
year, a pretty. And right. And James Harden, they still have
Two things. Either Harden plays, he still has to play. So that's still like you're still getting a production. And then two, you're getting pieces back for him. So those pieces aren't going to hurt you. They're only going to make you better. And it could be a lot of draft picks. If it is a lot of draft picks, okay, Houston down the road will be awesome. But I just feel either if Harden stays or those picks, they're up. They're still up.
Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, let's do the East, and I think this time I'm just going to kind of like list them all. I'll go 15-1, and then we'll see which is your kind of like strongest reaction. Let me just putting it in my thing here.
I'm into it.
Okay, here we go. I by the way, I feel like I was way more reasonable based on your guys' reactions than when I looked it over before the pod. But the East, I think I'm gonna get some big. You guys are gonna disagree fairly hard. Here we go. 15th, bottom of the East. I got the New York Knicks. 14th in the East, Detroit Pistons. Then I got 13th, Cleveland Cavaliers. 12th, Chicago Bulls. 11th, Charlotte Hornets. I got the Atlanta Hawks at 10th. Orlando Magic at 9th. I have the Washington Wizards at 8th. I have the Miami Heat at 7th. I got the Indiana Pacers at 6. I have the Boston Celtics at 5. I have the Philadelphia 76ers at 4. I have the Brooklyn Nets at 3. Homer as hell. I got the Toronto Raptors at 2. And number 1, Milwaukee Bucks. So you guys look like you're smiling. I already disagree with some of my own picks. Josh, I'm sure I'm wrong in several areas. So hit me up.
No, 15-11. That's what I had.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just straight up. That sounds about right. 10 to 6. 10 I had Orlando. 9 Washington. 8 I think the Hawks are going to make the playoffs this year. I think that they've been trending in that direction, and they've been adding some pieces. They've been they're an exciting squad. Definitely going to be following them. My Pacers are at 7th. I have the 76ers at 6th, and then top 5 Celtics, and then Raptors at 4. Heat at 3. I'm curious as to why the Heat are at 7th for you. But then the Nets at 2 and the Bucks at 1.
Okay, so yeah, the Heat, I think it's like I'm in like hater territory with the Heat. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So I think a lot of it has to do with, I think, the way the playoffs ended. I think they hit an unsuspecting Bucks and an extremely tired Celtics. And I think that has kind of shaped the narrative for them this year. I think Tyler Hero is okay. I think Jimmy Butler is a year older. I think Goran Dragic is a year older and a year more injured. I think Bam is absolutely like ridiculous and amazing and is going to do his thing. But I also feel like the top 6, 7 in the East is all good. The one I'm looking at is I don't think the Pacers actually are going to be better than the Heat. So, if I'm like, if someone's like, okay, now this is all for money and I'm going to go back over this. Yeah, I will. I think
they were last year. So didn't they finish 4th and then the Heat were 5th?
Yeah, that's the thing. I was going through the Pacers roster, and I kind of like it. It's like, Oladipo's obviously a question mark, but Brogdon I like. Warren's pretty good. Turner and Sabonis are like a year older in like the prime direction. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess Nate Bjorkson is probably pretty smart. You know, we should expect good stuff from him. I mean, I guess he's a rookie head coach, so who knows?
Yeah.
Ryan, let me let you jump in here.
So yeah, I guess the most puzzling one was definitely the Heat.
Fair.
I had the Heat rounding out like 5 or 6. I, for some reason, and I've said this on a few podcasts, for some reason I feel like the Atlanta Hawks are going to be good this year. I feel like they got a lot of 3-point shooting, they got a rebounding, pick and roll, a lot of pick and rolls happening on that team with Capella and Trae Young. I feel like they could sneak in. It's just my dilemma was, who am I dropping out of that 8?
Yeah, me too. And I put the Wizards and the Magic over them, but maybe they should be in the 8th. Because, like, I mean, I'm thinking, like, you guys are just saying, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of additions there. Dunn, Gallo, you know,
coming off the bench. Like, that's crazy.
They have 2 good centers, you know, Collins, Capella. So, yeah, maybe I didn't give them enough love. I always just think young point guard. It's like, it's tough to put together a winner. Like, it's like you got to be a game manager, and that's really hard for a point guard that's still learning. Sorry.
And I think that's why they brought in Rondo. I think they brought him in for that.
Right. They also have Rondo,
and they got Bogdanovich. And so it's just like, if you just look at their roster and you're like, damn,
it's not bad.
Maybe I should have Googled the Hawks before I put them in 10th, right?
Yeah. No, I have them making the playoffs.
But yeah, I think you're definitely going to see like a play-in thing, possibly with Washington and Atlanta down the stretch to get those 7 and 8 spots. But I like the list overall. I did drop Toronto down a bit, so I did have Milwaukee 1. I had Brooklyn 2, Raptors 3, Sixers 4, and Celtics 5. So not too different.
So you had Raptors 3, Josh. Where do you have the Raptors? Like my thing is, like, I'm actually still pretty nervous about the playoffs. I just think this team wins. Like, this team is just gonna, like, if you don't come prepared, they're gonna kick your ass. And there will be a bunch of times where, you know, a superstar does their thing, but I feel like our defense is probably going to be like not as good, but still really good. Sorry, I feel like I talked over my own question.
No, it's all good. I mean, I really think 3 to 6 is a toss-up between the Heat, Raptors, Celtics, 76ers. We're in that sort of mix. I had the Raptors at 4, but I definitely, like, man, I feel like we have taken somewhat of a step back just when it comes to our depth for the roster. We're still very deep, don't get me wrong. But we haven't seen any sort of, like, we don't know how Len's going to play. We don't know. I mean, Baines, I feel pretty good at having it at the center, and then Boucher is going to have more touches as well. So it's just I dropped him the 4th because of uncertainties with our core. So I had Heat 3, Raptors 4, Celtics 5, 76ers 6. So
I'm also feeling like now, we were talking about this before the podcast, I think, or maybe right at the beginning, but I've over accounted for Kemba being injured. If he's coming back in January, I guess, in my mind, it's like he's missing half the games. And if that's not like at all the case, then for sure Boston should be 2 or 3.
And Jeff T getting a bad option to hold the fort down. Wow.
And smart,
not at all. I think that's great.
And they're deep too.
And the Raptors always seem to struggle against, or at least last season, we just struggled a lot against the Celtics. They had our number. They were the only team that really handled us and would blow us out. Like, if you remember, regular season, even in the playoffs, like, they would hand us some tough L's.
Our like gambling, switch everything defense. They were like, we have the IQ to mess that up. Like, you have to. Which is interesting because their feared team is the Bucks, because the Bucks are like, we don't change our defense ever, but you can't stop it. But obviously a team like Miami could. But Boston, I think, like, anyways, they totally had our number. Just agree.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, they didn't get any. I don't really care about losing Gordon Hayward if I'm a Celtics fan. I don't mind the addition of Tristan Thompson coming off the bench, probably. So yeah, I don't think that they took a step back or forward really. So yeah, I still think they're going to be a decent enough threat, which pains me because I just absolutely hate the Celtics. So
See, that's nice for me to hear
Yeah.
because like I feel like if it's a double whammy of like, okay, they're going to be good, but I hate them. It's like, okay, I can deal with that.
absolutely.
The way I look at it is they played a lot of games without him anyway. He's been injured. They didn't need him.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Yeah, have fun in Charlotte.
yeah.
And I'm happy that none of you guys are like, oh, Charlotte's making the playoffs, because that would, or even into the play-in tournament, they're still trash.
Gordon's already injured. He's already injured.
He's already injured. He lost in a thumb
good,
wrestle or
good.
something like that. Yeah.
I put them at 11. Great. That's perfect. Okay, let's wrap this baby up and move on to quickish questions.
Let's do it.
What do you guys say? Some quickish questions?
I'm feeling
Maddie,
quickish.
yeah. So yeah, with the new StreamYard, I'm like, is he there? What's going on? Yeah, fuck.
I'm just orchestrating this thing like I'm doing the People's Court. I'm having a blast over here.
Okay, good. People's Court. Very, very relevant reference. Cheers.
Right.
Wait, is the People's Court still running?
Yeah, I think it is. I had an acting teacher once that directed for that show, and he said it was the most stressful job in the world, and he became an alcoholic. So
I love that you somehow know the director.
Yeah. Cheers.
For People's Court.
Oh yeah, he's a big acting coach in Toronto. He used to, yeah, Louis Bowmander. Why am I not saying his name? Louis Bowmander.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, this is the perfect segue. Maddie, please, good sir, hit me with that quickish question sting.
Quickish question.
Seamless.
Yeah, seamless.
No water.
Quickish questions is a little bit lean today, so I'm gonna hit you with 3 questions I got bubbling in my own head. Then we'll do a little all play, and we'll wrap this baby up. Let's go, Josh, Ryan, Matt. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, so quickish questions. I'm gonna ramble through. I'm gonna stutter. I'm gonna slur. I forgot to say this part this time. That's how bad I am. That's okay. You have to answer the questions as quick as humanly possible. Let's go.
All right.
Don't be like Matt. I should say, don't be like Matt. He's going to try and stall.
It's an art form.
It's an art form. Whatever. Josh,
Freddie.
who is going to have the worst season as a Raptor this year? Which player?
Norman Powell. I don't know why. I just said it.
It's quickish questions. You know,
That's
it doesn't have to be backed up.
I'm sorry, Norm. Prove me wrong.
Ryan.
Terrence Davis.
Okay. I was going to ask you a different question, but I love it. Matt, who's going to have the worst season as a Raptor?
Oh man, worst. This is tough, you know. For some reason, Norm Powell sounds right to me too. I feel like he's gonna have a tough season for some reason. I know. I don't want it to be. It just feels like it.
Okay. Well, you know what? We're gonna make these all plays. Josh. Wait, no. I'm starting at a different person then. Ryan. Will Masai resign this year?
Yes.
Matt.
Job's not done. He needs to finish. He wants to finish. I think he feels screwed from Giannis, so he's staying.
I love it. Matt,
I will
what do you
also
think?
say yes, but I think it won't be as long as we want. I feel like it's going to be like a shorter contract, like a 3.
That's probably a correctish answer, but you're pissing me off.
I know.
I'm
I'm pessimist by heart, so don't listen to me.
Josh, is Masai resigning this year?
Yes. I agree with everything, all the above. Yes.
Okay. Last all play, starting with Matt.
Whoa.
Which player has done more to get their teammates paid in the modern era than Kyle?
Oh, I was going to say it's Kyle Lowry. To get their teammates played, Boy, yeah. Who?
Pascal, Fred.
Oh, on our team?
No. I'm just saying. I'm listing
Oh, the people that
players
he's
Kyle
they're getting paid. Yeah.
got them all. Big
I'm just trying to
cash.
think if has LeBron
Bismack.
gotten anyone paid or
LeBron is a good answer. He's got
Yeah.
lots of people paid.
yeah, I'm gonna say
That was
LeBron.
my answer.
Josh, we got Kyle, LeBron. Anyone else you can think of?
Well, Kyle is actually the best answer because he's gotten so many paid. Russell Westbrook.
Russ, yeah. Russ is kind of when I read this question that I was thinking about him too, because you got your Anthony Moros, you got your Steven Adams, you got a whole bunch of people who played with
Your Paul
him.
George.
Paul George.
He was going to get paid regardless, but yeah, he stayed in OKC. So definitely, I go Russell Westbrook.
Ryan, I feel like this is very hard now for you because we've. Oh,
Can I not copy an answer?
Yeah, just copy one.
To be honest, like LeBron not only gets his teammates paid, like you guys remember the travesty contract that Tristan Thompson got. He gets his opponents paid. He gets other players in clutch paid. He got Ben Simmons paid. I'm pretty sure. What's the name that I was thinking about? I don't know if he had anything to do with OG, but he's gotten players outside of his team paid. So I'm all for LeBron getting players paid.
Well, I think that's a pretty good place to wrap this baby up on some LeBron love. He'll be playing later tonight. Lakers Clippers will be a good one. Guys, thank you so much for doing this pod. I love you both. You know what I mean? Josh, let me go to you first. Is there anything going on you want to plug? You want people to check out?
Not a whole lot. This podcast. This is a lot of fun. I'll definitely shout out to you guys. Thanks for having me. Not a whole lot. Obviously, stand up has been for the most part pretty slow. This year, comedy in general. So I can't wait to jump back on this.
Hell yeah, dude. Ryan, what's up? Press Basketball. People got to check that out. What
Press
else?
Basketball.
Where can they go?
We're now we are press.net, press on the web, on Instagram, Twitter, and I host a weekly podcast called Below the Hardwood, and you're going to be featured not on Below the Hardwood, but the fantasy league we were talking about. We're going to launch a kind of cool weekly fantasy podcast. Talk about pickups, waiver wire, who to grab, who to drop. It's going to be, we're doing it for the first time. It was very rushed, but I'm excited. It seems like it's fun. And,
I love it.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to dice this league. I just feel it with my team.
Matt's in it. He's pretty confident. He came
Steven Adams
with COVID.
Steven Adams for the win, babe.
Oh, waiver wire is going to be huge. That's all I'm saying.
Well, thanks, guys. Go get some food in you and enjoy some basketball. And yeah.
This podcast has been brought to you by the Sonar Network.